Hello students, my name is Meenakshi Chopra and I am the faculty in Department of Management Studies. The subject I am taking up here is cost accounting. This presentation is about the second aspect of cost accounting. As we've covered in the previous aspects, the elements of cost, classification of cost and the components of cost. Now the first important component which we covered there was the material. Now material, that was in fact first element which we covered was the material. Now what is the meaning of material? How will we define the material? Before going on to the definition of material, it is necessary for anyone to know the meaning of inventory. What is the meaning of inventory? When we talk about inventory, the general meaning is in layman's language we'll say inventory refers to the stock. Now inventory here, if we go to the specific definition, refers to the tangible property which can be consumed during the production process or during the production of the goods or the services, and generally these are held for sale purpose in the ordinary course of business, and that is the reason inventory is the part of your current assets, because these are to be consumed or to be converted into finished product within a span of 1 year. Now inventories are unconsumed goods or unsold goods, or the unsold goods which were purchased or manufactured during a particular year, and these are lying in the godown. Accounting Standard 2, which was revised, and as per this revised accounting standard, the definition which is given by accounting standard for the inventory is it is the asset, or inventories are the assets. The most important thing here, will lay stress or emphasis on the term asset. These are the asset, but these are not for the use in business. Rather, these are the assets which are kept for sale during the ordinary course of business, or these are required to be used for the purpose of conversion during the process of production, and these are the assets which are available in form of material or supplies to be consumed in the production process or in rendering the services. Right now, when we talk about the kinds of material can be of finished goods. For a trading concern, the material the things, or we can say the type of stock, it is of finished goods. Then there is work in progress. Work in progress is also known as the semi-finished goods, and then the raw material. Now for a trading concern, the stock or the inventory will be of finished goods only. Then for a trading concern, it is only for finished goods. For a manufacturing concern, it will be of finished goods as well as of work in progress as well as of raw material. And for a person who is the vendor of the raw material supply, the person will keep the stock only for the raw material. Now what is the definition of material? Material as well as material management. Material management here refers to, as we have come to know, material refers to any object, commodity, thing which is being kept for the resale purpose or to be converted into the finished product. And material plus management. Management refers to planning, organizing, directing, coordinating and controlling. So material management refers to managing in terms of material. That means to plan, to coordinate, to control all the aspects of the material, so that the cost of production should not go beyond a particular limit, and it should not lead to the wastage of material, and the cost should not be excessively high. Now what is the aim of material management? First of all, material management aims at controlling the cost, because the material is one of the most important element of the cost. It is the part of direct cost, it is a part of your prime cost, and the cost of production will directly variate with the expenditure of the material. अगर material पे expenses ज़्यादा होंगे तो आपका cost of production automatically rise हो जाएगा. So इसी तरह अगर wastage of material ज़्यादा होगा, cost of production आपका rise हो जाएगा. तो first important aim, if you ask me, is the control of the material, that is to avoid the wastage of material, then to keep a check over the overall cost, then to obtain obviously the right quality of material, right quantity of material. The material should not be brought in the excessive quantities, because that will lead to wastage of your money, blockage of your money, and moreover it can happen that while lying in the godown the material may get spoiled. The material management also aims at providing the things as and when required, that is at right time, right place, right cost, and which will lead to the effective cost management. Now, what is the objective behind the material management? First of all, material management aims at buying in the bulk quantities and to gain the economy in the purchasing. And there is an economic law: when we buy in bulk quantities, the quantity discount is being given by the supplier, so that can be done through the systematic planning. Then to satisfy the demand during the period of replenishment, as well as to carry the reverse stock or to avoid the stock out during the process of production. If we are stock out during the process of production process will get hampered and the process may get delayed. Moreover, to stabilize the fluctuation in consumption and to avoid the reasonable level of client services, it is important for us to manage the material. Now, while managing material, what are the basic needs? There are 4 basic needs of the material management. First, to have the adequate materials on the hand when needed. Again, I'll say we are not stock out. Whenever it is required, whenever the material is required, we will be having the sufficient quantity in the hands, and which in turn will help us in continuing or the succession of the production process without hamper. Then to pay the lowest possible prices, that is when economies of scale we want to achieve. So that can be achieved only if the systematic planning is done. If every 4th hour, every 1 day after 1 day we are asking for the material purchase, obviously we'll be losing the discount, quantity discount, which can be offered in the bulk purchasing. So to get the benefit of economies of scale and to make it consistent with the quality and the value requirement for the purchase of material. Then to minimize the inventory investment, to avoid the blockage of your funds in terms of inventory, and to continue effectively the production process. Now, the material management is based upon certain principles, just like the general management. First principle is effective management and supervision. Effective management and supervision of management depends upon all the managerial function which we have already covered in the subject principles of management, that is planning, organizing, staffing, directing, coordinating, controlling, reporting, budgeting. If all these functions are performed systematically with respect to material, the management and supervision as well as the control of the material can be made effective. Then purchasing methods should be sound. Haphazardly purchases should not be done. Proper information should be collected. Proper purchase procedure should be followed to bring the economies and scales. Then skillful and hard-poised negotiation should be there. Again, negotiation should be done while purchasing. It is not that vendor is offering you rupees 50 per kg raw material, so you said okay, take it from us. Proper negotiation should be made while purchasing. Purchase system should be effective. It should be simple, should not be complicated. कि भाई production department को जब सामान चाहिए उसको समझ में नहीं आ रहा है कि which process to follow. It should not happen. Then it also must increase. It should not increase. It must not increase the any other related cost, as well as the inventory control program where the levels of inventory, the process of issue and storage should be followed systematically. Now, while purchasing, the most important thing we here to keep in mind is the purchasing. Purchasing should be effective. Purchasing should be effective, and there are certain points which should be kept in mind while purchasing the raw material. First of all, proper specification should be there for the goods which we want to buy. Then we should invite the quotations from the reputed firms. ऐसे ही मार्केट में जाके कहीं से भी आपको सामान नहीं उठा लेना है. Then we should make the comparative study of the various vendors. Then quantity and payment discount should be scanned very carefully. terms of payment should be decided very carefully. Delivery period, gestation gap, that is the gap between the placement of order and the receiving of goods, should be very clearly specified, and on the basis of that we should keep a margin in the godown. Then vendor ki reputation must be studied, must be taken into consideration. Then your shortlisting for the better negotiation terms, and then we should seek order and acknowledgements from the various person. Now the most important thing here comes is storage issue and uses. Now regarding the storage, the materials should be stored properly, proper space should be there, appropriate place should be given, and storage should be done in a correct way. There should be systematic order, either it should be group wise or there should be alphabetical arrangements. Then there should be identification, retrieval, proper in charge should be made. The storekeeper should be assigned with the systematic duties, which we'll discuss in the upcoming chapters in the process of purchase. Now then, methods for issue, there should be certain specific methods like first in first out, last in first out, weighted average, that should be followed, so that at the end of the period, while determining the value of the stocks, such confusion should, value of the material in hand, the confusion should not be there. And also whatever the goods are lying in your godown, you should monitor carefully the expiry date, and if some material has become expired, that should be replaced immediately. And regarding the issue and use, the only one thing can be done systematically is the centralization or decentralization as per the need and requirement. And when we talk about inventory control, it refers to stocking the adequate number, प्रॉपर नंबर में स्टोरेज होना चाहिए, प्रॉपर काइंड ऑफ स्टोर होना चाहिए, एंड मटेरियल शुड बी अवेलेबल एज एंड व्हेन रिक्वायर्ड, प्रॉपर लेवल शुड बी मेंटेन, क्वालिटी वाइज categorization should be there, and scientific inventory control should be followed, and which actually leads to the optimum balance. Now the functions of inventory control, if we talk about, it leads to maximum supply, timely supply at the reasonable rate, then optimum investment in the inventory, avoid the unnecessarily blockage of your funds, and the consistency with the maximum efficiency. And it helps in providing a cushion between whatever the forecast was and what the actual demand is. The inventory control techniques try to coordinate between these two important elements. So it was basically a theoretical introduction of inventory control, inventory management, as well as storage and issue process. In the next presentation, we will be covering the numerical aspects of all these. Thank you.